You hear that? Do you hear that? It's in the distance, but do you hear that? Let me make it a little bit clearer for the people in the back. I can't hear it. Oh. Oh! Yeah! You know what time it is, children. Wait a minute. Oh. Yes. Yes. Children, before The Force Awakens came out, The Avengers was probably the greatest movie ever. Like, seriously. I know when this came out, I think I was like, what, 8 years old? And this was probably the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. When the Avengers came out, it was just incredible. You know, it made a shit ton of money at the box office, and it was deserved. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that the Avengers is the most perfect movie ever, but it's not. But do I really need to explain what the Avengers is? You know what the Avengers is. It is the culmination of all of Phase 1, and it just brings all of these characters together to fight Loki, who is a maniac with a fucking glowing cube. Essentially. So, what do I think of the Avengers? The Avengers is fucking awesome. It is awesome. Now, when you flash forward, what, 9 years after the Avengers first came out, yeah, it's not the best of the MCU, but it's still top tier. It is awesome. The Avengers is awesome. You know, before, you know, when you look back at it, like, at the time it came out, it doesn't look that special, because we have Endgame where you literally had every single person from the MCU show up in the last 10 minutes of the movie. But you gotta think about this in 2012. Nobody has successfully pulled off something like this. And despite if the movies were good or bad, making a set of movies all interweaving with each other to connect with this one big final movie. I guess you can really say Harry Potter did it, but in terms of those movies, every movie had the same characters in it. This was something where not every movie had the same characters in it, and yet they were still connected. And you got excited when the next one was coming out. Even if I sat through Thor and I saw the post-credit scene, I'd be like, oh shit, Loki's gonna be the villain for the Avengers. That's lit. Or every time we saw, oh, Captain America will return in the Avengers, we'd get fucking excited. We'd be like, oh shit. And then when we got the first teaser trailer for the Avengers at the end of Captain America, I can imagine how people felt. They fucking lost their minds. But oh my god. So, enough me stroking the cock of the Avengers. Do I actually like the Avengers? Yes, I do. This is a very good movie. It is just awesome, you know. It was directed by Joss Whedon, who is basically Hollywood's #1 hated man in the realm of superhero movies right now. I won't get into that. I'll save that for the Snyder Cut, and I've already bashed him enough in my review of Justice League. But yeah, he just did such a great job, you know. His style really influenced this in a really good way, and overall it's just such a fun movie. But enough of me. Kevin, what are your thoughts on the Avengers, good sir?
Generally speaking, this is probably before Phase 3. So before Phase 3, I think this was my favorite MCU movie at that moment, before Phase 3 started. And everything about this movie was just amazing, from the characters to the story.
Wait. I'm sorry. You said before Phase 3. So you're saying Avengers is better than Winter Soldier? Kevin, we're gonna have to have some words, bro. We're gonna have to have some words, because no. Just no. We're gonna have to have some words. I'm sorry.
We're gonna have this conversation when we get to Winter Soldier.
No. There's only one conversation we're having with Winter Soldier, and if it's not the same conversation I'm having with you, we're gonna have a problem. continue with what you were saying.
But from the characters to the story to the action, especially, everything was tied perfectly well together, and I absolutely loved this film. I guess in terms of positives, we can go on a whole list of this, but I guess just one thing I really want to point out is the action sequence where it really brings everything together, because we already had our introductions to these characters at the beginning of the film in their own movies, except Hawkeye.
No, but Kevin, what do you mean? We had 45 seconds of him in Thor. What are you talking about, bro?
You're right. I feel but it was really all about that third act, because as much as I loved acts 1 and 2, it's really just them trying to figure out how to work together. So it's really all just culmination of that third act. And when you reach that third act, from start to finish, when they all realize that they got to start working together and they got to get their shit together so that they can be able to really go all out with trying to defeat Loki and the Chitauri, it's like, it was just incredible. And I think especially that assemble scene when the camera rolls around and features all of them, that was just amazing. That was just fantastic.
So let's talk about most of the positives, because I really only have maybe one kind of negative. One, that's really it. So right off the bat, the acting across the board is fantastic. All of these actors are meant for these roles. You have I'm going to talk about the ones that we haven't seen much of, and then we'll talk about the ones that we've seen already. So Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow, we only really saw her in Iron Man 2. She is... Not that she was bad in Iron Man 2, but she plays a much better role in this movie than she did in Iron Man 2. I don't know. She was kind of useless until the third act in Iron Man 2. Here, she's much better. She's really cool. Jeremy, oh my god, I forgot his name. Hawkeye. I'm sorry. I'm bad with names, unless they're really familiar. Hawkeye's really good in this movie a lot. He gets better. I know the running joke was before Age of Ultron, oh, why is Hawkeye here? He's so boring. And then, after Age of Ultron, everyone was like, yo, bro, Hawkeye's fucking lit. I mean, I like Hawkeye before Age of Ultron. I thought he was awesome. He was pretty cool. And I think it was kind of a weird move, but at the same time a smart move to do the whole thing where he turns evil. Well, not turned evil, he's made evil. And I think it kind of works because it gives Black Widow a motive, and I think it's a really good motive. So, but he's really good. I like him a lot. Maria Hill is pretty cool. She gets less interesting. She's more interesting in the Captain America movies than she is in the Avengers movies, which is weird, but that's just how it is. I like her more in Winter Soldier than I did in any of the other movies she was in, because she was actually doing shit in that. I mean, she's doing shit here, but I don't know. I think that's pretty much it for the newcomers, so let's start talking about the legends, I guess. Robert Downey Jr. Come on, man. Come on, bro. You already know what I'm saying. He's just the best. Chris Evans is great. Oh, I forgot about Mark Ruffalo. How could I? Mark Ruffalo is the Hulk. Gonna get some heat for this, but I don't. He's not bad. Okay, I don't hate him. He's pretty cool as the Hulk, but I still will always like Edward Norton over him. That's just how it is. The design of the Hulk is cool. It looks more like the comics than the Incredible Hulk did, but I still prefer the Incredible Hulk design over it. I've always had this thing with me where, yeah, even though it comes from the comic books, that doesn't mean it always works. And I'm not saying it doesn't work here. I'm just saying I prefer something new and fresh if it works, and it does work. So, I don't hate Mark Ruffalo. He gets better as we go along in the MCU. Again, not that he needed to get better. It's just my personal preference, okay? The point is, I like him, but I don't love him, okay? That's it. Chris Evans, once again, is great as Captain America. He's just amazing. Chris Hemsworth, again, I said it in my Thor review. We both said it. We both said it in our Thor review, and I'm gonna say it again. He's just boring in the first phase. He's boring. And in Thor the Dark World, he's boring. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the direction, because now this is coming from two different directors. Three, when you count Thor the Dark World. He's just boring. I don't know, maybe it was the writing. I don't know, he's just boring. It took them all the way to Age of Ultron, kind of. Ragnarok was where it really started, but Age of Ultron, they kind of started doing it there, where he was being a natural human being. I don't know why with these Thor movies, they just look, well, not, you know what I mean, where every movie he was in, they basically, it's like that scene in the first Thor where Selvig goes to read the book about Thor and Loki because it's a real thing. And someone read that book and was like, okay, we're going to direct Chris Hemsworth to act the exact same way it is in mythology. And it's like, dude, you can't make somebody act a certain way because you want it to be like natural, dude. If someone can't act that way, well, not that he can't act, but if it comes off boring, there's a problem. You know, that's just how I feel. You know, every time he was there, I was just like, other than a couple of scenes, I was just like, he's so boring. I don't know what it is. And I hate his costume in this movie. His costume looks fucking stupid. People want to shit on Captain America's costume, bro. His costume looks fucking stupid. I don't like it. The action sequences are very well handled. Special effects are all on point. I can't think of one shot that I was like, oh, that looks dated. No, every shot looks fucking awesome. The pacing, I think, is a little, it's good, it's not great. There are slow points in the movie where it's kind of just talking, but it is character development, so I'm not really complaining. Samuel Jackson as Nick Fury again is just, that is again just like Robert Downey Jr. Perfect casting, awesome. There is one very big highlight that I would like to put center stage in this review, if you guys don't mind, and it is this right here. Oh yeah. That is just amazing. That is amazing. You will never find a superhero theme better than that. That is just incredible. You know, they did amazing with the score. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. The end fight, Kevin mentioned it, but the end fight is just fantastic. It is the last hour of this movie. It's just like Endgame. The last hour of this movie is just action. Or not last hour, like last 45 minutes. It's just action, and it's awesome. It's not as epic as Endgame is, but again, for the time, this was something we thought we'd never see. We never thought we'd see Iron Man and Captain America in the same movie. We never thought we'd see Captain America on a movie screen, period. Let alone having Iron Man and Captain America on the same screen together. It's awesome. And, of course, I gotta talk about the post-credit scene. Now, when I first saw this movie, I was confused. Because I was very young, and I was not into the comics. I had no idea who the fuck Thanos was. This clown showed up, and I was like, who the fuck is this? Everyone in my theater was like, oh shit! I was like, who the fuck is this? You know, obviously now, when I watch it, I'm like, oh shit! He looks like shit. He looks nothing the way he's supposed to look, and that's gonna be a common trend every time he shows up. I don't know what it was. I don't know what, it's like the Halloween mask. Every time, in every movie, it looked different. I don't understand. Now, granted, this is different because it's CGI, but with the Halloween mask, I'll never get over how they made the original and the mask look great, and even in Halloween 2, the mask looked really good. But then after that, they just started making the mask look like god-awful diarrhea garbage. I don't know why I'm talking about Michael Myers in a fucking MCU review, but you get my point. I don't know why he looked different in every movie up until Infinity War. It was just stupid. But that's probably it for positives, you know. I don't really have negatives. You know, the Avengers was just a fantastic movie. I don't think Kevin has any negatives, right?
Not from the top of my head. I don't think there's really any negatives, and if there were negatives, at best for me, it'd probably be some nitpicking. It's like, you could have just done it like this, or you could have just done it like that. But overall, like, I really don't see any negative. This was like, for phase one, it was as perfect as it can possibly be. Other than Thor, probably the only negative, but that was just part of his character for like 75% of the MCU until Thor Ragnarok came around, so that's not really something you're gonna nitpick.
Yeah, this perfectly finished phase one, and honestly, it was just fantastic. You know, it is cheesy, yeah. You know, again, Kevin said if you really want to nitpick, you can, but it's a fucking comic book movie where you have just everything happening. And if you're invested, you're gonna. It's just like Endgame. I've seen so many people who have not watched the Marvel movies watch Endgame and be like, "Oh, well, that was kind of boring," or "Oh, it was okay," and then the ending was cool. But then you have me and Kevin and everyone else who was invested say, "Oh my God, that was one of the greatest things I've ever seen in my life." It'd probably be the same situation with this. If you'd like only seen Iron Man, and then you watch the Avengers, and you'd be like, oh, it was okay. So, but if you're invested, you're gonna love it. I'm gonna give the Avengers a 9 out of 10. It is a damn near perfect movie. It's not perfect, but it is a damn near perfect movie, and I wish that Joss Whedon wasn't in such hot water right now, and he could have actually did something cool with Justice League, because realistically, the decision to bring him on to Justice League was not the worst idea, but at the same time it was, because he basically brought the MCU tone over to the DCEU, and it did not work because the DCEU was not Marvel at all. But that's all I'm going to talk about Joss Whedon, because I don't want to talk about it until March when we get the Snyder Cut. But thank you guys so much. We are officially done with phase one. Holy shit, that is crazy. We're already done with phase one. I thought we'd be sitting here for weeks talking about phase one, and I think it probably has been weeks, but it's gone by quick. Next week we will be talking about Iron Man 3. Oh boy! You can tell from the excitement in my voice how excited I am to be talking about Iron Man 3. Oh boy! We will be starting phase 2. And side note, we will not be re-reviewing Thor: The Dark World for 2 reasons. 1, it is garbage. There's your review right there. You don't need another review. It's garbage. That's it. And 2, we already reviewed it back in March or April, whenever we did it. So, there you go. You don't need another review. You need 5 seconds from me to you telling you it's garbage. That's it. You know, side note, not to make the video any longer than it already is, but side note, you know, I read a comment today that said Thor: The Dark World was their favorite Thor movie.
End the video. We're done.
But you see, you won't get that clown. You won't get that clown antics here. No. You won't get those clown antics. You get logic here, bro. That's what you get here. You don't get stupid ass comments like that. No, you get logical comments like Winter Soldier is the best MCU movie. Kevin! Thank you guys so much. Be on the lookout Monday for Iron Man 3. If you like this, please leave a like and subscribe. And yeah, stay safe. See ya.